Good morning. Welcome to Sunday. It's a little cold.
Morning.
It's a little cold down here in Clearwater. It's 40 degrees, so they've declared a national emergency. They're handing out hot chocolate on the street corners. I'm sending them all up to my home in Indiana to see what it's really like. Excuse me. I'm a little congested this morning, so bear with me. It's nice to see y'all. Greetings to those I can see on Zoom and those I can't see on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for joining. Today, I'm going to talk about impermanence. I thought that was a good topic. I've been doing a series on what I refer to as the art of being well, and I think part of that includes accepting that everything is in flux all the time, which is kind of a hard truth, but it is a truth. And there's grief that goes along with that, and I'll talk about that too. And I think mindfulness meditation in those moments is a really great opportunity to witness that, because the mind is in flux all the time, right? What your thought stream goes to now is different than what you'll be thinking about 10 minutes from now, is different what you'll be thinking about a minute after that, is different what you'll be thinking about at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and it's all kind of random. It's just in flux all the time. And I think that's kind of a good metaphor for kind of the way things are, in flux all the time. So we'll get to that after the meditation. But for now, let's just start by finding a meditation posture. And that is a posture in which we are relaxed but alert at the same time. And it's also a posture that allows us to know that we are settling in to something different from our regular walking around existence. Just letting your body be alert but relaxed, settling into whatever you're sitting on. Let your gaze cast down to relax the muscles around your eyes. Gently close your eyes. And let's start with a few slow, deep breaths into the belly. Just letting your diaphragm and your belly relax. A few slow, deep breaths just to connect to the body, connect to the breath. And letting your breathing return to normal. And on the exhale, just letting your body relax and soften. There's no need to hold tension. There's nothing to be tense about. There's nothing happening in the simplicity of the present moment. There may be some activity in our heads, but in the present moment, we're simply sitting, breathing in and out. What's happening in our heads is not happening anywhere else. We're just here, now, safe and okay, in the simplicity of this moment. And as you exhale, just relax the muscles in your face. Let your eyes rest in their sockets. Relaxing the shoulders and the chest. Just letting your belly hang, relaxing whatever tension we're holding in our bellies. Just breathing in to the present moment. The simplicity of just being here. And let your attention and your awareness come to your breathing. And rest your focus and your attention there. Just focused and paying attention to the physical sensations of the breath moving in and out. Noticing the sensations of the chest or the belly expanding on the in-breath Noticing the sensations of your chest and your belly letting go on the out breath. Noticing the sensations of the air moving in and out of your nose. Just resting your awareness on the body breathing in whatever way is easy for you. Notice you've wandered off in thought, whatever you're thinking about. That's okay. The mind just does that. Can't really control it when that happens. But when you notice, be gentle. And bring your attention and your focus back to your breathing. As many times as you need to, it's all good. This is a gentleness practice. It's the simplicity of being in this body. There is this body. Just being in this body. mind wanders off, you notice that you're thinking. Thoughts arise, and they slip away. Just bring your attention back to the breath. And as we come towards the end of this sitting, just coming into the simplicity of being in the body in this moment. And letting your mind and your body rest there. And may it be that whatever benefit we received from this practice today expresses itself by helping us move through the world with kindness and compassion. And enables us to put aside the chaos of our minds and move around more centered. And may it be that the benefits of this practice help us be more compassionate with ourselves when we notice that we're caught up in our chaotic thinking or difficult moments. To be kind and compassionate to the person in this body. And let that kindness and compassion radiate into our interactions with the people in our households. And the people in our communities. Letting that kindness and compassion radiate out into our communities and towns, to all beings everywhere. May the benefits of this practice be of benefit to all beings everywhere. May all beings be happy. May all beings be well. May all beings be safe. May all beings be at ease and at peace. Thank you for your practice. And welcome again to Sunday morning. So I was thinking, going to see a jazz performance later on today. And then I was thinking about, I have to change the cat litter box. Yuck. And then I was thinking about a book I'm reading. Then I was thinking about, gee, I hope I can deliver a good talk this morning. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because the mind is shifting all of the time. Whatever I'm thinking about now is impermanent. And impermanence is the name of the game. and it is our topic today. The impermanence of the technical glitch that I am experiencing at this moment is making it hard for me to see you guys. Bear with me for just 1 second. My computer is not behaving. It's okay. There's a chant that I learned from one of my Vipassana teachers. You all can join me if you want. Just repeat. All things are impermanent. They arise and they slip away.
They arise and they just slip away.
Those with knowledge of this have great happiness.
Those with knowledge of this
have great happiness.
Have great happiness.
Impermanence is the core of Buddha's teaching. Everything is in flux all the time. Someone once asked Suzuki Roshi, the founder of the San Francisco Zen Center, what is the essence of the teaching? And he says, everything changes. It's as simple as that. We know this rationally, the weather changes day to day and the seasons change unless you live in California. People come and go from our lives. People die. Our moods change. Our thoughts change. Everything is in flux. Joni Mitchell said, the great teacher Joni Mitchell said, everything comes and goes, marked by lovers and styles of clothes. Across the street from my office when I was living in Sacramento, there was a gas station, a little grocery store. And then one day there was an empty lot. Then one day there was a bunch of machines. And then one day there was a small strip mall of fast food places. The office next door to mine was a massage parlor. And then it was a vape store. And then they were selling a hydroponic gardening product. Everything is in flux all the time. Life and everything in it is just plain impermanent. Everything is arising and passing away. And it's really, that's the most obvious of all things. And yet impermanence is difficult to accept. And some people find it frightening, and it can be frightening. And there's a grief attached to letting go. We cling to things, and then they shift. And it's easy to forget that in all of that shifting around, that we are still, in fact, okay. People look at the constantly changing landscape, and it scares them. I mean, who can blame them for being frightened? I mean, seriously. You look at the world and the planet is on fire, the climate is in disarray. Wages are stagnant and prices are rising. The price of gas is back to what it was in the late 90s. And it is going to get higher before it gets lower. In the past 20 years, we've lived through 9/11, 2 wars, a Great Recession, unprecedented political uncertainty, an attempted resurrection, COVID-19, and now the war in Ukraine, which I pray to God doesn't draw us into a shooting war with the Russians. There's plenty to be afraid of. It's like I read in that essay from Gina Dupro last week. I know what, don't tell me there's nothing to be afraid of. So we try to gain some control. Our lives are in flux, people are coming and going, and as often as not, we try to get some sense of control through more work, more play, more meditation, more things, more. I make no secret of the fact that I'm a recovering addict, and when I look at the thread that runs through my addictions, I really am addicted to more. More food, more dope. I have a very large record collection, more records, just more. And when it doesn't work, when our moreness, our mooring, doesn't work, it's really easy to go to some form of self-blame or shame or numbness. But what if we embrace the impermanence of it all? The general state of everything being in flux. And yes, that is uncomfortable, but that too is impermanent. I feel uncomfortable. Now I feel comfortable. I feel sad. Now I feel happy. Sometimes it just takes getting used to. The conditions of the moment will change. And I get to choose to believe, and it is a choice, that I will be okay. I choose optimism. I didn't always, but I do now. I choose optimism as a spiritual practice. I call it a practice because a practice is something we have to teach ourselves to do by repeating it over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I have talked several times in these Sunday morning sessions about the general repetitive nature of spiritual practice. And granted, it's easy for me to say this because I'm not in a bomb shelter in Ukraine, and I'm not homeless and starving on the streets of Varanasi, India. And I'm not dismissing grief and trauma and despair that sometimes results in the ongoing flux of everything and the feeling that the ground is shifting underneath us. But mindfulness practice, the practice of sitting in the simplicity of the present moment, helps us see whatever we are experiencing now, something else comes next. Anybody here know about Krishna Das? You're missing out. Yeah. Those who know. Krishna Das is actually is a white guy from Long Island, New York, named Jerry. I can't remember his last name. Can't remember the name of his Hindu teacher, but he discovered Hindu chant, and he's a chant master. Krishna with a K, Das, D-A-S. Check him out on YouTube. It's magical. But he told this story when I saw him one time about he'd committed some transgression in the ashram where he was staying, and the teacher sent him off to sit like in a cave and chant Hare Krishna for 12 hours or 24, some extended period of time. And what he observed about that is, first he was really upset about it. And then he was really angry about it. And he went through all these moods and all these changes and kept chanting. And what he discovered, one of the things he discovered from that was whatever state of mind he's in, something always comes next. And whatever we're in now, something always comes next. everything is in flux, everything is impermanent. This is especially true of states of mind. Depressed and anxious, and then I'm happy, and then I'm annoyed, and then I'm impatient, and then I'm living in total equanimity. All of this can be like in the course of 25 minutes. And, when I was practicing as a psychotherapist, anxiety and depression are really the common cold of psychotherapy. And one of the things that happens is, and PTSD, I did a lot of work with PTSD, and people come into therapy thinking that they are stuck here and that it's going to be like this forever, because maybe it has been for a long time. But something always comes next. And I believe that the psyche, the system, is always trying to move towards wellness and wholeness. And it has some aberrant ways of doing that sometimes, addiction and all that. But nothing lasts forever. And lots of people are turning to meditation to help with that sort of underlying anxiety that's in the culture right now. And it's people, in the early stages, that tends to be somewhat goal-oriented, to feel better, to be more centered, to be more focused. And that's all well and good. Whatever gets you into it, gets you into it. That's just fine. But I prefer to think of a more goal-less practice, just to sit in the moment as best we can and breathe in and out and keep coming back when the mind wanders off again and again and again. And that just helps us be in the flux of the impermanent shifting of the mind and be okay at the same time. So the repetitive nature of the mindfulness practice is a perfect demonstration, as I was talking about earlier. Our mind is shifting all the time. We're sitting and meditating, and then we notice we're thinking about whatever we're thinking about. And then we come back to the breath, and then we notice maybe we're thinking about that again. Or maybe we're thinking about something else again. The mind is on this train. And then we sit down to meditate again tomorrow, and we're repeating the same process of wandering off and coming back and wandering off and coming back, except that the content of the thinking mind is shifted now. It's something else. It's about the plane we have to catch, or the drive we have to make, or the person we have to meet, or the job we need to get done, or whatever. And then tomorrow it's something else. And something else again, and something else again, and something else again. And we keep experiencing, and if we notice again that all things are impermanent, especially states of mind and and whatever the mental fixation is for the moment. So the practice, the art of being well, involves sitting with the fact that nothing is permanent and it's okay. And it's challenging because the mind, by nature, wants to cling. We're trying to feel safe. So the mind clings to whatever appears safe. And the mind defaults negative. There's actual evolutionary neurobiology of that. And at some point, I think I should probably do a talk on that. Just the evolutionary neurobiology of why the mind goes to negative. So there's another opportunity to not beat yourself up for that, because people come to me and say, I'm so negative. I thought, well, of course. There's a little wiring right at the back of the brainstem that accounts for that. The mind defaults negative, and we cling to this okayness by thinking that if we just keep everything as it is, we'll be okay. But we don't have to do it that way. It's a practice to accept that everything is shifting all the time. We have to remind ourselves that we're okay, especially now. Pema Chodron spoke to this in her book, When Things Fall Apart. She said, to live fully alive, fully human, and completely awake is to be constantly thrown out of the nest. To live fully is to be always in no man's land, to experience each moment as completely new and fresh. Oh my God, I'm thrown out of the nest, I've landed on the ground, I'm learning to stand up, and I don't know what this stuff is around me. Life is kind of like that. We have this illusion of predictability, but, and we can decide at any moment that we're okay, it's just uncomfortable. Things are shifting and it feels a little weird, but I can decide that I'm okay. It's just uncomfortable. So, whatever you're struggling with now, and we're all struggling with something, right? Whatever you're struggling with now, please remind yourself as often as you must, which is very often, something always comes next. I believe, Paul Simon, I believe in the future we will struggle no more. All of this, of course, points to what I'm always talking about, which is self-compassion. All I'm teaching, this week is a year that I've been doing these sessions on Sunday mornings. And the only thing that I have been teaching this whole time is self-compassion. Everything else is details surrounding that. So when we notice that we're caught up in the anxiety of the shifting of everything in flux, it's a really good opportunity for us to come back to being kind and gentle with ourselves and being compassionate with ourselves. Because the amount of work involved in beating ourselves up and the amount of work involved in reminding ourselves that we're okay is roughly the same. So, I invite you to live as best you can in your experience. To remember that things are in flux. Don't be surprised. And remember to be kind and gentle and compassionate with yourself as you navigate all that. Thank you for your kind attention. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Well, let me ask you something. Do you think it would be helpful if instead of a talk on a Sunday morning, I just spent time answering questions about meditation practice? Can get a yes or a no on that? Okay. I'm available for any questions about that at the end of when I say, does anybody have any questions or comments, it can be about the talk or it can be about anything related to your practice, because I love teaching meditation. It's fun for me. So, and for the folks on YouTube and Facebook who I can't see, you can just leave a comment about that if you want. So, I invite you to be kind and gentle with yourself in this changing world. I will see you all next week.
Thank you.
Thank
you very much.
Nice to see y'all.
Thank you, Ken.
Nice to see you too, from Italy. Ciao.
Hi.